Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Today, we are still on our way to Halloween, and this is when we go more family friendly. Last year, what did we do last year?
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. Not a great movie.
Not the original. Remake
No.
was much better.
Yeah, and we usually do at least a family one and a comedy one. Last week's Return of the Living Dead 2 was supposed to be the comedy one. That was a big miss.
Oh,
So-
such a miss.
That was not a good movie.
No, not even a little bit.
But this week, we are looking at Addams Family from 1991.
Mm-hmm.
I do not remember a lot about this movie, and there's a reason. In 1991, I was getting a little older,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't as cool to like family PG. I was more into the action R-rated movies.
Gotcha.
I remember the second Addams Family. Okay, before I say this, we were pretty much the same age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the actress. I remember the second one, Christina Ricci, changed a lot from Addams Family 1 to Addams Family 2. I was like,
She-
wow, Wednesday's
she-
hot.
She did develop
Yeah.
very early on, and she developed in such a way that you could not hide it.
No. But this movie, I do remember back in 90, because I haven't seen it since the 90s. And I do remember the cast being, even then it was like, wow, they really, even seeing the previews,
Yeah.
they really nailed Christina Ricci as Wednesday, Gomez, Raul, I don't
Raul
want to pronounce it,
Julia.
Raul Julia is so awesome, like in
So
any
good.
movie he did. But Uncle Fester, Angelica Houston as Morticia.
This- yeah.
Yeah, it was a really cool. So I do remember liking the movie. I just have not seen it since the 90s.
I have seen it more recently, although I
Oh.
haven't seen it in probably, well, more recently than you. I think the last time I saw it was the late 2000s. So like just before 2010. And I fucking loved it. I do remember more of it. I think I watched it more because I was also a fan of the Addams Family TV show.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah. So I watched the crap out of the TV show. So I loved the family friendly kind of spooky like goodness. And so when I watched this movie, I remember quite a bit of it. Like I also think because it was very reminiscent of the soap operas I watched growing up. There was very much a soap opera storyline. So I was like, yeah, this is amazing. The cast is incredibly stacked, filled
Oh
with
yeah.
stupid talented people. And these are all people who committed to the roles. No one was trying to reinvent the wheel. They were like, these are very specific characters with very specific behaviors and stories, and that's what we're going to tell. And I appreciated that so much because I hate it when actors are like with classic characters, they're like, I wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do that. Just do it really well. Like do the character, but just do it really well. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I love that about this. This movie was so good. And
Yeah.
I just now
Nah,
realized there was an actual actor in Cousin It.
there was what?
There was an actual actor playing Cousin It.
Cousin It? Like
Yeah.
a famous actor?
Yeah. John
Who?
Franklin.
John Franklin.
Okay, yeah, true. He's kind of like a go-to little person.
Okay, let's see. That's how I'm curious. Cousin it. Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah, everybody see. If you've watched a lot of horror movies and B movies, you've seen him. But he has done a lot of stuff. So like it wasn't just a random. I don't know why, but I was like, they have a random kid walking around in it.
yeah,
And I'm like, that's not true. But yeah, I was like, oh, there's an actual like person. Awesome.
yeah, yeah. That's weird. Well, yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, you want someone that could take direction and do what you want.
Well, yeah, but it's usually especially because he doesn't actually have any lines or you don't see his face.
No, he just mumbles and
Yeah, so I just assumed they had a random generic like background actor who did it. And I was like, wow, they like got an actor.
now Barry Sonnenfeld is the director. This was his first movie.
Oh.
He's also done. Oh Jesus, Wild Wild West. Oh,
Oh.
producer.
Oh, okay.
But directed Men in Black. Yeah, I think this movie really very quickly opened up doors for him because he was a set designer or a cinematographer before.
Mm,
But yeah, I think once he did, it was a hit as far as I remember. Like it was.
yeah.
Anyways, we'll get off that. Get off. There we go. I I did like the Munsters more than I liked the Addams Family as a kid
Mm,
because it was always these were reruns. We weren't
well,
around
yeah.
the 60s or 70s when they were out, but
True.
they were in afternoons playing after school.
Yeah.
And I do remember watching this, and I did love Addams Family, but I think I like the Munsters a bit more. As a kid, Munsters was a more, especially the Frankenstein, the dad
Yeah.
was, yeah, just. But I
I
did,
I love the Munsters too. And
yeah,
I
they were
think this
pretty
is
awesome.
why deep in my heart between
I'm
the Munsters and
surprised
the
they
Addams
never.
Family.
I
They
know
never
Rob Zombie just did recently
Yeah.
a Monsters movie, very low budget, but I'm surprised the Monsters never got like a big Hollywood.
I think they did a TV movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably.
Because I remember there being a movie before the last one. Oh, it's just showing the 2022 film, which is weird.
Yeah, 1964, 2022. There was 1981, The Monsters Revenge, The Monsters Today in 1987,
Mm,
and Here Come the Monsters. But I think this was all the same cast, like all the old.
yeah.
Oh no, the Here Come the Monsters. Oh, Christine Taylor was in it, and
Oh,
Veronica Hamill, Robert Morris, Edward Herman. Yeah, so they did make Here Come the Monsters in 1995.
that's probably the one that I remember seeing.
And the ones in the 80s were ones by the original cast.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the box office for Addams Family. Released on November 22nd, 1991. Really? You didn't think fucking Halloween was a just maybe people would love to go see this in Halloween?
Apparently not.
A budget, it's disputed between 30 and 38 million,
Mm,
but it had a domestic in of 113.5 million, international 78. Oh, my thing went
impressive.
off. So let's add that because it cut off. So 178, 188. So almost 200, 190, 191 roughly.
A lot.
Yeah. Pretty good for a 30, $38 million budget.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
They made their money back and then some.
It opened at number 1 ahead of Cape Fear. That was in
Mhm.
its second week. Beauty and the Beast, which was in its second week. To be fair, Beauty and the Beast opened up in a small amount of theaters. It
Yeah.
later would race to be like the number 1 or number 2 movie of 1991. An American Tale, Five Will Goes West, with its first week. Curly Sue was in its fifth week. And All I
Damn.
Want for Christmas in its third. And People Under the Stairs in its fourth week. It remained number 1 the following week despite My Girl opening.
Oh.
It then dropped to number 2, second place, in its third weekend and remained in the top 10 for 4 more weeks after that. It also remained in theaters for 51 more weeks for a total
Wow.
of 406 days.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And also People Under the Stairs. I saw it on one of my streaming services and I was like,
I
oh
love
my
that
God.
movie.
I remember loving it too.
Yeah.
This podcast has made me very afraid to rewatch movies I
Yeah.
love.
What was the guy, the main guy? Not the little kid, the main. He was in Pulp Fiction. He was in a lot of movies. He was in Dawn of the Dead, The Cop.
Are you talking about Ving Rhames?
That's it. Vin Rhames. Jesus Christ. I think he dies pretty early. But the guy who plays the brother and the sister,
Yeah.
those two were awesome because they were lunatics.
Honestly, I was like, I really want to rewatch it.
Yeah, that would be a good one to do.
Right? So I'll hold off on rewatching it.
I know this podcast sucks with that.
Oh God. It stops me from watching all the old shit I used to love.
All right, let's go to the tail of the tape. November 22nd, 1991, because why would you want to open around fucking Halloween? It's a comedy. I get this from Rotten Tomatoes. It's just a comedy.
Yep.
PG-13, I was a little surprised.
I was not.
No?
No. Makes sense.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. And it has a runtime of 1 hour and 39 minutes.
Decent runtime.
Yeah.
I like that.
Taglines. It's not the same old thing.
Oh, I see what they did there. It's not good, but I see what they did there.
Yeah. Weird is relative.
That's perfect.
Who's the old lady there?
Isn't that grandma?
Is it grandma?
I feel like that's grandma.
Creepy, kooky, spooky, ooky.
Eh.
That was it.
Yeah, weird is relative, was perfect.
Yeah.
They should have just stopped there and not put anything else.
Here is the synopsis. When a man, Christopher Lloyd, claiming to be Fester, the missing brother of Gomez Addams, Raul Julia, in the TV show, I believe Uncle Fester is Morticia's uncle. I don't think I could be wrong. I don't know.
You know what? I've never thought about whose Uncle Fester is.
Yeah. Who cares?
No, but now I kind of want to know.
The family is thrilled. However, Morticia, Angelica Houston, begins to suspect the man is a fraud since he cannot recall details of Fester's life. With the help of lawyer Tully Alford, Dan Hedaya, Fester manages to get the Addams clan evicted from their home. Gomez realizes the two men are conspiring to swindle the Addams' fortune and that he must challenge Fester. I think I remember Addams Family Values more because not just Christine Ricci was getting hot, but Uncle Fester was getting married or something in the sequel.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw that one more.
I remember
more recently.
Yeah, I remember number 2 because of Wednesday Goes to Summer Camp.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I remember number 2 for being a sequel.
So good.
Being really well done for being a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here is the original movie poster. Great poster. If
So
you're
great.
a fan of like the 90s Addams Family, it's a great poster. Like that I would hang. Probably actually that'd be a great one to have around Halloween.
For anybody who's a fan of the Addams Family, they now have a Addams Family Polly Pocket set. It's the fucking cutest thing in the world and I want it. But I'm waiting until after I watch this movie to decide if I'm going to buy it.
I just finished watching Wednesday, a little bit ago with my 6-year-old, and she wants to watch it over and over and over again. But so we got her like the Sherpa blanket and we got her the Funko Pops and she's going to watch this with me. So it looks like it has a border. It's very gray. The Addams Family with purple vines, weird as relatives on the top. You have Gomez and Morticia in the middle. You have Pugsley and Fester, Wednesday and some old lady.
Grandmama.
Right in the middle. Yeah. Grandmama and Lurch behind them dusting the Addams Family thing, the Addams Family title. Yeah. No, it's a great poster, actually.
It's such a good poster.
Yeah, if it's good and it continues, especially if my kids like it and we
Yeah.
continue watching it, yeah, this would be a great display. Those metal tin posters.
Mm.
All right. Now, let's see. Of course, I didn't get this. There we go. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. 52 critics come in at 67%. 250,000 plus audience comes in at 67%. Even. I don't think
Interesting.
I've ever seen that before.
I don't think we've seen that before. Yeah.
Critic consensus: the movie is peppered with amusing sight gags and one liners, but this disjointed script doesn't cohere into a successful whole.
Interesting.
All right, we'll start with the fresh, and you may go.
It may mostly be cosmetic, but this release is a reminder that some stories are lightning in a bottle, capturing a cast and a concept that works only once in a generation and stand the test of time. Douglas Davidson, Elements of Madness. Mm.
Hmm. Let's the bizarre rhythms of the cast move us from gag to gag with a stately slowness that keeps a fundamentally slapstick driven film from ever feeling too busy or rushed. Tim Brayton, alternate ending, 3.5 out of 5.
Hmm. The movie keeps the spirit of the original series intact while making it a little more twisted for contemporary viewers. Ethan Anderton, slash film.
A witty family comedy that has enough sly humor to keep adults chuckling throughout. John Ferguson, Radio Times, 4 out of 5.
All the actors are spot on perfect in their roles, particularly Ricci, whose performance as Wednesday helped cement her status as the queen of dark, offbeat films. Betsy Bosdek, Real.com, 3 out of 4.
Funny feature film version of the classic TV show and just as ghoulishly hilarious. Steve Crumb, Dispatch Tribune Newspapers, 5 out of 5.
Damn, Steve really liked it.
All right, let's go to the rotten. You may begin.
An otherwise very funny scene featuring Thing amounts to an extended ad for Federal Express, and the rap beats from Hammer's new album boom from passing cars in several scenes. Nothing will date this movie faster. Joe Brown, Washington Post. You know what? Fuck you, Joe Brown. That's not a valid argument.
They're creepy and they're predictable, mysterious and rather tame. All right.
That's not a valid argument.
They're creepy and they're predictable, mysterious and rather tame. Owen Gleiberman, Entertainment Weekly, C+.
Did Owen want them to go on a killing spree? Cinematographer turned director Barry Sonnenfeld and screenwriters Larry Wilson and Caroline Thompson haven't solved the problem of how to construct a film around a one joke concept. TV Guide staff, TV Guide 2.5 out of 5.
Well, I don't know how many seasons the Addams Family ran for, and they were
Yeah,
able to do it around the one
I was going to
joke
say.
concept. Despite inspired casting and nifty visual trappings, the eagerly awaited Addams Family figures as a major disappointment. Variety.
There are a lot of little smiles in the Addams Family and many chuckles and grins, but they don't add up to much. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times, 2 out of 4.
Hmm.
Interesting.
All right, IMDb, 184,000 user ratings, comes in at 6.9, actually a little higher than Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right,
but
you may
still in
go.
the same vicinity.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
an early 90s classic with terrific performances. 10 out of 10, Russ Hogg.
One of the more successful TV to film adaptations. 9 out of 10. David Sim 240183.
Fun is the best adjective. 8 out of 10, CC the Movie Man. 1.
Fun family movie, masterclass in casting. 7 out of 10. Joseph Dunn 67245.
Eccentric hard. Oh, let me rephrase that because apparently punctuation is not this guy
Yeah.
or this girl's friend. Eccentric, hard not to like the film. 6 out of 10, Sophie Taylor with X's.
Beautiful but boring. Humorous but not funny. 5 out of 10. Charles C. 5.
They could have done much more with this. 4 out of 10. Big, very bad Tom.
Dull, unfunny, and frustrating. 3 out of 10. Mike S. McGrail.
Not as good as the TV show. 2 out of 10. PKZ Wiz.
And the number 1 out of 10. I thought the slop would never end. 1 out of 10. Helpless Dancer.
Harsh.
Yeah.
Gonna call it slop?
All right. All right. Well, we looked at the box office. We looked at tail tape, and we went through. Now, bear with me because I'm trying to save memory space on my computers
Okay.
because I have a bad habit of not getting rid of stuff.
Mm.
The amount of trailers.
I get it.
So we're gonna share, and we're gonna go on the Addams Family. Dun. There we go. Okay. Make sure it's not too loud. You can hear that?
Yep.
Aha! Showtime! It's a miserable night.
I know, darling. Children, put down that antenna.
Uncle Fester, may I have the salt?
What do we say?
Now.
Unhappy, darling.
Oh, yes. Yes, completely.
There's lots to learn. Look, children.
Children, what are you doing?
I'm going to electrocute him.
I said no.
Please?
Oh, all right. Don't torture yourself, Gomez. That's my job.
Cara mia.
Is this made from real lemons? Yes. I'll buy a cup if you buy a box of my delicious Girl Scout cookies. Are they made from real Girl Scouts?
All right. What's your prediction?
I think I'm gonna love it. I really,
Yeah.
really do.
Like I said, I'm watching with my kids. This looks like a great.
Yeah.
It looks like it aged well, like the visual effects and
Yeah.
that part looks great. All the thing looks great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be something that, for the most part, really holds up well, and is still very entertaining today, which I'm super hopeful for. And also, the cast is just ridiculously good.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
Angelica Houston, Raul Julia,
Christopher
Christopher
Lloyd.
Lloyd. Yeah.
That'd be
Wow.
so good.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about watching him. All right, well, we are going to go watch The Addams Family from 1991, and when we get back, we are going to review it. Yay!
Woo!
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Delicious things to eat. The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy, the chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Ooh, wasn't that scary, kid? Well, it wasn't really scary.
No, not even a little bit.
No, not unless you count some of that early 90s special effects.
Oh, geez. Can I tell you? I was like, oh, Lord, we just, one of my notes, blue electricity. I was like, shit,
Yeah.
it showed up to
We just covered blue electricity.
no.
All right, give me 1 second here.
I suppose so.
All right, did you watch the 1991 reimaging of The Addams Family?
Yes, I did indeed.
And your initial thoughts?
It is a very, very sweet movie. I laughed a little bit. I didn't realize there were so many sexual innuendos in
I was
it.
going to say sexual reference.
Yeah, I was like, damn, kinky. I'm into it. It still holds a lot of nostalgia for me, and it's still like I thought the movie was very sweet, and it was fun. It's not as good as I remember it being, but I'm also not the target audience.
No.
It was not made for adult Anna. It was made for kid Anna, and
Yeah.
kid Anna enjoyed it. And I also figured out that Morticia and Gomez are still relationship goals, and I still want to live in the Addams house.
Yeah, and it was made for kids with some stuff, a little bit of stuff peppered in there for adults
Yes.
that took their kids there. Yeah. You cannot compare this to Wednesday, the Netflix show.
Mm.
Like, if you're a total fan nerd, like Boy Basement Masturbator,
Okay.
I am for things. No judging. Well, I'm kind of judging. I
You're
am
judging.
Yeah, I'm judging. But the original comics portray the Addams a little different, especially
Mhm.
Gomez. He's much shorter and fatter,
Yeah.
like originally. And the series Wednesday casted perfect with Louise Guzman.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is a national treasure.
He really is. I
He's
love him.
awesome.
I love him in everything he's in.
Yeah. Oh, he's so fucking good. Yeah, he's awesome. He's so funny. But it is a little different in the TV series. Like Gomez with John Aston, but the comics never really specified origins. They were just rich, old money that were into the
Mhm.
macabre and were weird and didn't care if people thought they were weird. So it is really up for debate, but really interpretation as well. And Raul Julia is amazing.
He's
Like,
so good.
he was a lot of movies. Like, I thought he was awesome in Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I still love that movie for all of its terribleness. It's been a few years since I've seen it, but the last time I saw it, I was like, damn.
Yeah, Street Fighter, that's a movie back then that was so bad it was good.
So bad it was good.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
wonder
like,
if it's
I have no
still
problem.
so bad if it's just really, really bad.
I think the
But
last time I saw it was about 5 years ago, and it was still awesomely bad.
yeah, because Jean-Claude Van Damme was still trying to be like cool and
Yeah.
tough and everything, and like everyone else kind of got the memo that this was just a silly, stupid movie. And it worked perfectly. I remember it worked perfectly like that.
Oh, yeah. No, it was terrible and wonderful all at the same time.
Yeah, and that was his last movie. Raul Julia's last movie was
Yeah.
Street Fighter. Sorry, Raul Julia.
I mean, if you're gonna go out on a note, you might as well make it a memorable one.
And I don't know if there would be a third Addams Family because when I was doing this, I think the second one was better received critically, but it didn't do so well in the theater. I thought it did, but it did not.
No, I think it became like a late entry for cult classic.
Yeah, I think it did way better on TV and in video
Yeah.
rentals. Yeah.
I think that's where it really gained its momentum, especially with all the people who kind of grew up watching it, and then they actually grew up,
Yeah.
and they can look back on it because there's a lot more just like Wednesday was kind of an ass, and I loved it.
Yeah.
She was like coming into her inner bitch, and I was like, yes, girl, I identify with you.
Anyways, my initial thoughts. Goddamn, I did go off the track here.
Mm,
At least it was relevant. Well, relevant adjacent.
ish. It was attached to a tangent.
I called back. Yeah, I called back to that review. I can't remember the name, but it was an IMDb one. It just said fun is the best adjective to describe this movie. I had fun.
Yeah.
Going to say Raul Julia made the movie, but Christopher Lloyd was great, Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci, Lurch, Pugsley. But the supportive to the Addams, like Dan Hedaya?
Yeah, Dan
Yeah.
Hedaya. I think
He's
that's how you
always
say it.
awesome.
He's amazing. I love him.
Yeah,
He's
talk ab-
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what when we talk about character actors that can elevate a movie, and this was already a pretty good movie. He just helped it be a little better.
Yeah.
His wife Dana Ivey was Margaret in the movie.
Yes.
Even Elizabeth Wilson, Fester's fake mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, even Harry Bentley from the Jeffersons. I have it. Paul Benedict.
There we go.
Yeah, was
Yes.
great, but he was Harry Bentley, the British guy that always liked George, and George hated because he was always positive and nice.
Yeah, honestly, it was a really, really great cast, and you
Yeah,
could
it
tell it
was.
was actors who were all on the same page for the kind of movie they were making.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
all understood the assignment, and I love it when that happens.
yeah, and there were some very bad effects. But there were some still pretty good effects.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, and I expected that for 1991. My kids liked it, so that helps elevate a movie too.
There you go.
I don't know if
Yeah.
this is something I'm gonna watch on my own.
That was what I got from it. Like, I'm like, this might be like a comfort movie. Like,
Yeah, like if you're
maybe next year if you're feeling a little
Halloweenish.
spooky. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, let's put on something light, something fluffy, something that you're like, hey, Morticia Gomez, maybe you shouldn't be making those noises at a fundraiser. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. My
was
sister was
awesome.
like, "Ew, what are they doing?" I'm like, I don't know. Let's see what they're doing next. Let's just avoid this whole fucking conversation.
I don't want to talk about the birds and the bees and why
I'd
if
rather
you hear
not.
sounds like that, don't knock on the door.
Thanks a lot, Gomez and Morticia, you fucking perverts. All right, but I had fun. I had fun watching it with my kids. So let's go over this movie. Gomez Addams laments the 25-year absence of his brother Fester, who disappeared after the two had a falling out. Yes, they changed Uncle Fester from being Morticia's uncle on her mother's side to being Gomez's brother. Who cares? Pick your battles, you fucking nerds. Kathleen Kennedy destroyed Star Wars. Side note, I did watch Deadpool and Wolverine because they were killing Marvel too. It was awesome. Not my favorite Deadpool movie, but it was awesome.
I have not seen it yet.
Did you watch the other two?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I watched the other two, love the other two.
I don't know if it's my favorite Deadpool movie. Probably not. But
Yeah.
I mean, as far as Marvel movies, like they haven't been the greatest movies in the last little while.
Marvel has made some bad choices.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways. And how the fuck does Hugh Jackman still look like that?
Right?
Fucking koala diddler. He's 55. 50 fucking. You should see him. He is. They only show him at the very end, but you could tell he wanted to work out because he had this one scene where it was all muscles because he wore the suit. And oh my god, that man is ripped.
Well, it's hilarious because he basically stayed in Wolverine shape for all these years. He was like, as long as there was
Better
the potential of a Wolverine movie, he's like, I worked out and I ate like I was gonna be in because for the first movie, he thought he'd be able to do it real quick. He couldn't. And he's like, that's why I look puny in the first movie. And then he's like, I got in Wolverine shape after that. And he's like, I just stayed that way for like 10, 15 years. And then he was like, okay, I think it's safe. I can stop. So then he stopped. And then they were like, one more time.
Yeah. Poor wife getting banged by Wolverine all the time.
Well, I mean, depends on what side of the gossip sites you're on.
That's true.
I personally think he's probably straight. I mean,
I think so.
I vote
Maybe
for
not.
myself for being wife number 2.
He does like musicals.
Hey, there are straight men who thoroughly enjoy a musical and thoroughly enjoy performing in musicals.
Yeah, sure there are.
There are.
That's
damn
what all
it.
the pretending to be straight men say. Musicals.
Yeah.
All right,
Dude,
what?
it's the ultimate way to get a girl. You can sing, you can dance, and you will go to every show with her. Getting laid for life. You just have to
Yeah.
convince her you're not gay first.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
uphill
Sorry,
battle.
I sidetracked
Yeah,
again with Wolverine.
it's okay. We forgive you. Go.
The point here, boys and girls, is I don't care that Fester is Gomez's brother. Who gives a shit? But right from the beginning, I was like, Addams Family. This is Addams Family. Like, absolutely. It looked it. You
Yep.
felt the songs. Kids getting ready for school. Gomez hitting the golf balls off the balcony into the judge's house. Great. Thing looked
Mhm.
great at times. Sometimes not so great. It was the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you could see the outline of the green screen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that bad.
No, and the thing from Wednesday, unbelievable. But you're talking 34 years of
Yeah.
technology,
A lot
and
has happened since then.
it doesn't look that much different. Not 34 years, but yeah, we get a quick little intro to everybody,
Mhm.
and like you said, I see the PG-13 with Gomez and Morticia and the way they talked. Don't lose that. That was the right way. I think that was the right way to portray them.
Oh,
Like I said,
100%.
my 6-year-old started asking questions, but yeah, but that was the right way to portray them.
Well, that's the thing. I think they established who the characters were right up front, and they stuck to that.
Yeah.
Which it was a great way to establish who the characters are, and they were like, "These are the people you're meeting, and this is who's gonna be in this movie." And you're like, "Okay, great." And you do get a lot of facets, and I mean, the thing is, Morticia and Gomez have this undying, all-consuming love where, like, they're just super Gomez is actually super into I think they're into each other, but Morticia's more aloof about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she kinda plays harder to get, but that's what drives Gomez crazy.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
funny because I said Gomez has, like, real golden retriever energy, like, he's just like, "I am so happy to be here right now, right next to you. What was that, French? Yes!" And that's who they are as a couple, and I think it wouldn't have been the same movie or as good if they had toned that down.
Yeah. Okay. So, should be noted that my 6-year-old is going out as Wednesday this year, and we
Mhm.
got her costume, and we ordered Thing.
Yeah.
So, she was watching the movie with Thing, and at first it was sitting on her shoulder, and then I had to give up my fucking pillow for Thing to sit in between us and watch the fucking movie. Ah.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, just answering. Answer. Lloyd is awesome. Bum, 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 bum. All right. So Gomez's lawyer, Tully Alford, owes money to loan shark con artist Abigail Craven and notices that her adopted son, Gordon, closely resembles Fester. So Tully goes for the meeting with Gomez.
Mhm.
His wife is like, Tully's wife, as we're broke. How are we going to get the money? Tully has a plan. This was a great scene with Tully and Gomez, the sword fighting.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just, and I like Tully. I like him as an actor. He's friggin' hilarious.
I love him. He also plays the kinda slimy, but still downtrodden, like, lawyer. His wife is just like, "Just ask for a
Yeah,
loan. Just ask." And he's like, "I can't do that." Excuse me. They also establish that he's at a desperate point. It's his last paying client. The Addams are their his
yeah,
last paying client, and he's in debt. His wife is telling him, "You need to ask for a loan. We're broke." So they already set the scene for everything that comes after, which I love. And then the scene between him and Gomez further drives home the point that Gomez is super playful and high energy, and he's just enthused about everything, and he's like, "Let me see if I can stab you." And they have fun with it.
yeah. And because he proposes what is it?
Mm. a retirement fund,
under
the
Fester's
Fester
name.
Addams retirement fund as like
Yeah,
a charity venture
and he just needs $1 million to set it all up. And
in
Gomez
an
is like,
account in his name.
yeah, for tax purposes.
Yeah, in an offshore account.
Yeah.
Yeah, offshore.
And Gomez is like, sounds great, but can't do new business until old business is done. So he has to wait for that. And then we also see him going into his vault,
Yes.
and he's gone for a bit, and we hear Kitty, which is the lion. We never get to see Kitty, but we
No.
hear.
We hear Kitty. It's enough.
So Tully proposed, because when he gets home, it is Fester, or Gordon, is the son of her. Yep.
Oh, also Gomez pays him in a briefcase filled with doubloons.
Yeah, Spanish doubloons.
That he weighs on an antique scale.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you even know if that's enough money? What?
Yeah. And yeah, so he Tully explains to the people that he owes the money to that Gordon looks like Fester. If they can get Fester in there and he can find the vault, and if they can see the money. Tully doesn't see the money yet, though, does he? We don't see that till Fester.
No.
Yeah.
The scene with Uncle Fester is the only one that we see.
Right.
What the actual vault.
Yeah.
Before that, you just see the doubloons and you just see
Right.
this entire suitcase or briefcase filled with them. But obviously, Tully's been going to this house for many years and waiting. Well, Gomez goes into the vault and comes out with a briefcase full of doubloons. And he's like, there's more where this came from.
Tully proposed that Gordon pose as Fester to infiltrate the Addams household and find the hidden vault, where they keep their vast riches. Tully and his wife Margaret attend a seance at the Addams home led by Grandma, in which the family tries to contact Fester's spirit. Gordon arrives posing as Fester, while Abigail poses as German psychiatrist named Dr. Greta Pinderschloss.
Correct.
And tells the family that Fester had been lost in the Bermuda Triangle for the past 25 years until she found him in some tuna nets. Yeah, another great scene where they're trying to contact Fester, the knocking of the door, and
Yeah.
thing scrambles to go answer it. Yeah.
Dr. Greta Pinderschloss with the ever-changing accent. Also, it was really fun to try and keep track of how many cliches and like idioms she used in telling stories. It was fun. I was like, oh my God. And then I found him.
Yeah. That'd be me. But the people I try to trick would probably not be as dumb as Gomez. Gomez, overjoyed to have Fester back, takes him to the family vault to view home movies from their childhood. That was actually pretty funny too.
Yeah.
With them going to camp and pretending to be sharks.
Well, it's funny because like Gomez is all in, but that's because he's also felt guilty for the last 25 years. So
Yeah.
I would even argue that he's not that much of a moron. He's just super, super hopeful and mildly delusional. But it was because everybody welcomes them in except for Wednesday. Wednesday is the first one who's all like, nobody leaves the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I did. No. She was suspicious from the beginning, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, he takes them into the vault. We see the book magic where he pulls Gone with the Wind off of the.
Yeah, and the wind just blows.
And the wind just blows.
And the vault is just childhood silliness.
Yeah, it's like a little clubhouse.
And then Fester gets tries to pour a drink, and then he picks the bottle that spins him around, and it's a big vault.
That's a huge vault.
That's a lot of money.
It's like it goes on forever and ever and ever. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking impressive.
Yeah.
And then he turns back around automatically because apparently you can only be in the vault for so long. And then he's back in the room with Gomez, and they start watching stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and he starts to you can kind of see he's starting to have a little fun. Gordon learns the reason for the brothers falling out. Gomez was jealous of Fester's success with women. wooed the conjoined twins Flora and Fauna Amor away from him out of envy. Gomez starts to suspect that Fester is an imposter when he is unable to recall the important details about their past. He was other members of the family were starting to see it, and what was it? It was the okay. So while this was also going on, we also have the sorry.
I want to be there with you.
Yeah.
Just need to know where
The
you
finger
are.
thing where it's donated to the
the
auction.
the Chinese finger trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Tully's wife gets the finger. It's donated by Morticia, and they auction it. That's where not Fester, Gomez and Morticia bid against each other on their own donation, and then start making out hard.
Because I think the bidding started at like $2,000, and he's like, that's not enough. 20,000, and then it just kept going.
Yeah,
and
then
then
she's like 25, and everyone's looking at them like, "What the fuck is going on?"
It's your turn. And then they were bidding against each other, and then once it hit 50,000, they were just so swept up in the emotion.
Yeah, and they
started
pretty
making
much go
noises.
at it. Yeah, that's when my 6-year-old goes, "What are they doing?"
And then the auctioneer called the auction, and they were like, "And it's sold to Morticia Addams for $50,000," while they're still making noises. And I was like, I don't remember these noises the first time I saw it.
Now, on the way home, Fester has the finger puzzle on his fingers, and then he says, "Oh, this is awesome. How do you get out of it?" And this is when Gomez realizes, and he starts to lose it, where he's like, "How do you get out of it?" It was a
party favor from his
party
10th
favor
birthday.
at it. Yeah. And then this is when we get the train scene, which was bizarre.
Amazing.
It was very cool, very awesome to see, but it was bizarre.
Yes, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I was like, "Oh, look, there are tiny people in the train." I'm like, "Are there more? Are they all gonna die? Do they come back to life after they die and you reset up the train tracks?" Like, I'm like, What is the method here? Where's the madness?" But there were a bunch of things that happened, like small things, that kind of made everybody perk up a little bit and be like, "Huh, that's," but I mean, understandable. He didn't know the like secret password. With Gomez, when they were like play wrestling, he couldn't remember Flora and Fauna's like names. He had no idea they were conjoined. It was like a whole thing. So there were little things that everybody in the family kind of starts picking up on, where they're like, "Huh, that's weird." But I mean, 25 years in the Bermuda Triangle. Cool. But then it was the finger trap that they were like, everybody in the car gives him side eye.
Yeah. Everyone. Because Wednesday was sleeping, and she even woke up to give him some side eye.
She was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then Gomez has his breakdown with the trains. And
that
everybody's
harkens
listening
back
to it.
Yeah, that harkens back to the 60s. I remember the John Astin character at times when he was upset or whatever, he was always down there playing with his trains and crashing.
Yeah.
But I love how like the house rumbled and things fell off the wall, and
and they were like, "Oh, he's running the diesel."
Yeah.
The
Dead
diesel.
man's curve. Yeah. Gordon like the whole thing.
I like that they really just created an entire world and everybody committed to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gomez starts to suspect that Fester is an imposter when he is unable to recall important details about the past. Yes, Gordon attempts to return to the vault, but is unable to get past the booby trap, which he forgot which chain to pull, because he ends up going all over the house through that tube of water. And
yes,
that's when Morticia kind of takes him for the walk
through the cemetery.
His pet vulture.
He just wasn't vulture-y.
Yeah,
he wasn't vulture-y as he was before.
He stopped circling. Gomez's wife Morticia reminds Fester of the importance of family among the Addamses and of their vengeance against those who cross them. Fearing that the family is getting wise to their con, Abigail, under the guise of Dr. Pindershosh, convinces Gomez that his suspicions are due to his displacement. Yeah, she gives him that whole spiel about why, and then he's like, that makes total sense.
And I mean, it makes sense. Like, you can still see Morticia's like,
yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
But like Gomez is all in because he wants his brother back. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I get it now as someone who's been in therapy for a while. Sometimes you overlook the red flags because you're like, I want this person in my life. Then you're like, fuck you, get the fuck out. But that's a story for another time.
Gordon, under the guise of Fester, now grows closer to the Addams family, particularly the children, Wednesday and Pugsley, whom he helps to prepare a swordplay sequence for a school play.
Mhm.
Yeah, when he's like getting all mad and everything, and Gomez is screaming, "That's not my brother." He watches Pugsley and Wednesday play, and then he's like, "You're doing it wrong. You need to jab here," and then they
Yeah.
start goofing around
If
together
you're
and
gonna
stuff.
stab, aim for the artery.
Yeah, for the artery. Abigail had insisted that Gordon not attend the play, but after feeling deeply saddened by this, he attends anyways. After the play, Dr. Pinderschloss insists that Fester must once again leave. So the Addamses throw a large party with their extended family and friends, during which Abigail plans to break into the vault. Wednesday
Mhm.
overhears Abigail and Gordon discussing the plan and escapes them by hiding in the family cemetery. And then we get, because it's not here in Wikipedia, we get the big, and you get to see Cousin It, you get to see
Yep.
Hunchbacky. Can't remember his name.
Lumpy?
Lumpy,
was-
Cousin Lumpy,
It was Lumpy Addams, wasn't
Lumpy
it?
Addams. That's it. Yeah, actually, I think it was.
Yeah. Lumpy Addams. You've grown up.
And the twins.
Yes, Flora and Fauna were there.
Yep.
Tully was entertaining them for a little bit and thoroughly insulted them by confusing them.
Yeah.
He also just left his wife to
With It.
entertain Cousin It, and a romance blossomed.
Yeah.
Cousin It underneath all that hair, so suave.
Yeah. Hung like a horse.
I don't think she had time for all of that, but she was very enamored with him. She was a little smitten.
Yeah.
Because apparently he was just paying a lot of attention to her and asking her questions, and she apparently understood all the me. And they had a beautiful conversation.
And this is when the twins tell Tully that if Fester is back, Fester is the older brother, which
Mhm.
means the entire fortune belongs to him, the house, everything.
And that's
So
when
he gets an
Tully
idea.
figures out, yeah.
Yeah. Tully learns that as elder brother, Fester is the executor of the Addams estate and therefore technically owns the entire property. With the help of the Addams' neighbor, Judge George Womack, whatever his name, whom Gomez has repeatedly infuriated by hitting golf balls into his house, Tully procures a restraining order against the family, banning them from the estate. Gomez attempts to fight the order in court, but Judge Womack rules against him just out of spite.
That was
so hilarious. They get kicked out, have to live in a hotel.
They get kicked out, they go to a motel, and Gomez says, they say that a lawyer who has himself as a client
is a fool.
Or no, a lawyer who represents himself has a fool for a client. He's like, well, I am that fool.
Yeah.
And yeah,
they lose
hard. And I mean, they get kicked out. There are golf balls kind of not tossed at them, but close in the courtroom. And then them packing up, so sad. They're taking all their stuff out, and then you see Thing walking out with a wagon attached to his wrist.
Yeah, it had like gloves in it, and yeah, that was funny.
Home reading
everyone gets jobs. The kids sell lemonade. That was pretty funny.
That was
the Girl Scout. Is that made for real lemonades? Are those Girl Scout cookies made of real Girl Scouts?
And that Girl Scout does come back for the second movie.
Yes, she does.
She is a camper with Wednesday.
The thing becomes works for FedEx, and Morticia goes to work at a school, kindergarten class, reads the School of Hansel and Gretel, and kind of tells it a bit differently.
A little bit.
The evil little children push the poor witch into the thing. But I loved how at the end of it, those 5-year-old children were just scared and bawling. I'm
so
wondering,
funny.
How did they do that?
Well, because there's like a serious moment of silence where they're all just staring, and then they start crying. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Because that's the moment. And we've all seen this on the little people that we call children. We've all seen that moment where they're like, I don't know how to react,
Yeah, they're looking around like, what the fuck do
They're
I do now?
trying to figure out what the correct response is in their teeny tiny toddler brains. Then they're like, "I'm just gonna cry," and then they do.
The director's like, perfect, cry, you little fuckers.
I don't think he said little fuckers. I'm just
No,
going out on a limb there.
it was 91. Could have.
Very possible.
While Abigail, Gordon, and Tully try repeatedly and unsuccessfully to get past the booby trap blocking access to the vault, the Addamses are forced to move into a motel and find jobs. I like how Gomez is just watching TV. He keeps bugging Sally Jesse Raphael by calling into the show.
Gomez, you have to stop calling. I love that Sally Jesse Raphael did this.
Yeah. And he likes Gilligan's Island.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, well, let's go for a drive. And he's like, Gilligan's
Miss
coming
Gilligan?
on. Morticia tries to be a preschool teacher. Wednesday and Pugsley sell toxic lemonade, and Thing, the family's animated disembodied hand, become a courier. Despondent, Gomez sinks into depression with lethargy. Morticia returns to the Addams home to confront Gordon and is captured by Abigail and Tully, who torture her in an attempt to learn how to access the vault. That was a funny scene.
That was hilarious.
As no one wants to torture her, and then Tully starts, and she's like getting into it.
Yeah, she's like, she's making noises that could go either way.
Yeah,
but it sounds like pain. And then he does it again, like, because I guess she's on the rack, so they're stretching her out. And then she's like, "You've done this before."
yeah.
It's like, oh, she's really into it.
And then she says, "Oh, you're a backstabber, a lech. Gomez adored you because he knew you were a piece of shit."
That's what I loved about it. It was like, no, we knew.
In attempt to grab access to the vault, Thing observes this and informs Gomez using Morse code because he was talking too fast with his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
The concerned Gomez then rushes to Morticia's rescue, and Abigail threatens Morticia's life if the Gomez does not surrender the family fortune. Yeah, we get Tully and Gomez doing one more sword fight.
Yes. Tully draws first blood.
Yeah.
Gomez is proud.
Yeah, you could tell I thought he was going to say something like, well done. Fed up with his mother's behavior and constant berating, Gordon turns against her.
Finally.
Yeah, using a magical book. Which one was it?
Hurricane Irene.
Yeah. Actually, because when they first go there after lunch, Tully is sitting there waiting for them, and he's got one that's a beach one, and he's just sitting there getting like a suntan. Which unleashes a hurricane into the house, which strikes his own head with lightning. There's our blue lightning.
Yep. And
launches Tully and Abigail out of the window into the open graves dug for them by Wednesday and Pugsley. That's where are they dead? And she's like, does it matter?
Does it matter?
They start burying them.
They're like,
and the blue lightning, as we learned, or you already knew, I learned that it was animated. Blue lightning is animated.
Correct.
Amazing. The movie ends with a coda taking place 7 months after at Halloween. The family has since figured out that Gordon was actually Fester the whole time and had actually gone missing in the Bermuda Triangle, where he was found and adopted by Abigail. However, Fester had suffered from amnesia the whole time and only recovered his memories after being struck by lightning. Mm-hmm. With the family whole again, as they play Wake the Dead, Morticia informs Gomez that she is pregnant. And that is our movie.
And wait, I'd like to point out that sure. Margaret and Cousin It are an official item by then.
Yes. They show up on Halloween together.
They show up together. It's beautiful. Everybody goes to dig up all the family members. Also beautiful. Yeah. Family bonding.
So what is your score?
My score is a Rent It. It is a fun, light, mildly scandalous, spooky movie. It doesn't have to stay a Halloween movie. You can watch this any time of the year. It's good for the youngins. It's good for the oldins. Holds a lot of nostalgia. And there is such a great job that was done by all of the actors, the set decorators, the set designers,
Yeah, it
the
looked awesome.
director. Like, it looked amazing. Like, it is one of the most well-styled films I've ever seen. And all of these actors are so incredibly talented. And what happened on this film rarely happens to this degree of synchronicity. Everybody understood the assignment. Everybody understood what movie they were making. Everybody came with the same energy, same dedication. Like, when you're watching it, it literally feels like you're just hanging out with the Addams Family. It was fun, it was sweet. I don't think this would be in my regular rotation. However, if someone says to me, "You know what? The Addams Family is on, you wanna watch it?" Yeah, let's watch it. I love me some Gomez and Morticia softcore good times. Why not? Um, I don't think it'll be like a regular installation in my watch cycle, but I could see myself watching it again in a year or 2, and I think it's a fun movie, and it's fantastic for kids, and even those kids who are preteens, so they're in that weird age where some movies are too young for them, but some movies are way too old for them. Like, this is a good little niche for them. So, I say rent it, and you won't be sorry. I would willingly spend $4.99 on this, although right now you don't have to if you have a Netflix subscription.
Nice.
Just saying. What are you rating it?
This reminded me a lot of Ernest Saves Christmas. Don't get me wrong, this movie's better than Ernest Saves Christmas, but this movie benefits from watching it with kids. I have a lot of kids. Uh, it's not laugh out loud funny, but it's very humorous. It
Mhm.
does look amazing. This was I remember, I don't know if I have it in trivia. You would almost think that Tim Burton produced this or had something to do with
Yeah.
this movie. It's very vibrant, very gothic. It's very well done. I think
Mhm.
this was because the director was a cinematographer and knew exactly what he wanted to see. Uh, it is a fun movie. It's not a
Yeah.
hilarious movie. It's not scary. M- Mine is like an asterisk because I have a bunch of kids. I would buy it. I
Ah,
did buy it, and I got the stupid with more mamushka. It's an actual, director's cut. So you can I did not I
fantastic.
watched the original in case it was really different. I didn't
Yeah.
wanna be, going, "What are you talking about? This happened." But yeah, so this comes with the original theatrical and it comes with the director's cut. So I
Mhm.
haven't watched the director's cut. My 6-year-old liked it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be watching this movie again, so I will watch the director's cut. I would I would probably say buy it at discount. I don't know if I would
Mhm.
go all 4K on this, that type of thing, or spend 40. I wouldn't spend I would $10. I would spend $10
Yeah.
because I have kids. This is a great one for on Halloween, because
Mm.
it's something because the older kids want to watch what I don't know, trap and anything
Ooh.
with lots of gore, where the younger ones kind of don't want to watch this. Oh, come on.
You're back.
Um,
You're in sync. You're good.
yeah. And this is one that everyone can watch.
Yeah.
This is a good family movie. Like you said, I don't know. I don't think I'd watch this by myself.
See, and I did watch it by myself,
And
which is
yeah,
why I think I was kind of not necessarily mad about it,
yeah,
but I was like, it's not something I'd choose on my own after this.
yeah. Like if I watch this, if I was by myself, watch this, I would say, "Oh, it looks great. Oh, it's fun. It's a good family movie."
Yeah.
Um, I wonder what's on Pornhub. You know what I mean?
I would not say that part, but I mean, sure.
I'm sure there's an Addams Family on Pornhub
Oh,
that I could watch.
100% there is.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a
100%.
lot of Addams
There's
Family.
probably oh my god, could you imagine what they do with Thing?
Oh yeah. Oh oh.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like,
Oh
watching
no.
it with your kids
Yeah,
and then
it
watching it
elevates it.
solo, yeah, watching
And
it
when
with
I
kids
say
would definitely elevate it.
Ernest Saves Christmas, it was nostalgic and a one-timer to watch after so many years, but because I was watching it with my kids, it was elevated a bit.
Yeah.
This was kind of like you said. It was like, oh, it's okay. I
Yeah.
wouldn't probably watch it on the regular, but with my kids, I would buy it. And
It's a great, like,
I didn't buy
it's
this. My wife bought this, so
good times.
it was like $10.
Smart wife. Yeah, no, I saw that it was streaming on Netflix, which I was very excited about.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's streaming. Thank God. I was like, where can I watch this? And I was like, oh, it's on Netflix. Fantastic. So I watched it and it was great and I enjoyed it, but it was really like the vibe of it. The Addams Family has a good vibe to it,
Yeah,
and it does suck you into the film itself, and you're just like, felt like I hung out with the Addams Family for almost 2 hours.
yeah, yeah. It was definitely the Addams Family right from the beginning.
Mm,
It felt like the Addams Family, which is great. And like you are correct. The cast is phenomenal. You couldn't have picked
so good.
a better cast.
So good, they casted this so well.
Which now brings us to trivia. I'm waiting for it to load.
You're fired.
So
What is Darth Vader holding? What DVD is that?
The Conjuring. The actual
Oh!
it's actually I got this a while ago. It's actually the all 7 movies. The
Ooh!
only one that's missing is The Nun 2.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen The Nun 2 yet.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen all these yet. I think I bought it a long time ago and I forgot
Yeah.
about it. And then like, oh shit, I had because I've never seen the Conjuring movies. And
Oh,
then so
I
I
have. I
started
love
watching it. Oh, they're fucking. Those are
They're
creepy. I
so
hate those.
good.
Creepy as shit. Like I
yeah.
like them, but they're actually creepy.
Yeah, no, that kind of shit freaks me out. And then you start side-eyeing like dolls and stuff.
Yeah.
You're
Well, it's
like,
like
"Fuck, what's
Eddie
haunted?"
Murphy. Eddie Murphy Delirious when he's like when black people if they move into a home the house is like get out and he's like well too bad we can't stay get the fuck out. He goes but white people stay or
You're
at
like, "It's
leaving
pipes.
he would
It's
have
the
left
pipes."
he's like me he would have left his kid like the poltergeist when he gets sucked in the TV and they say didn't you try to save your kid and he's like I tried to change the channel but there's nothing I can do. Addams Family trivia. Let's get rid of you. You may start. Oh, there we go.
All right. After the movie premiere, children would frequently recognize Raul Julia as Gomez Addams out in public, which, according to him, always brought a smile to his face. Julia stated that Gomez Addams was by far his favorite role, and his family said this recognition was especially meaningful to him in the final months of his life because he loved performing for children and making them happy whenever the opportunity presented itself.
Aw.
That's super sweet.
Yeah, sad to start the trivia. According to Angelica Houston, Christina Ricci came up with the Wednesday sleeping position with her arms folded across her chest herself.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
The name Wednesday is a reference to the line in the Mother Goose poem that goes, "Wednesday's child is full of woe."
Which is actually touched upon in the Netflix show Wednesday.
I believe that.
Yeah. Which is a great show, by the way.
It's on my to-watch list for
along
when I'm
with like
unemployed.
800 other fucking mine's huge.
Oh, yeah,
My
well,
list.
as of November 1st, I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands, so Wednesday is on the docket.
The exterior of the Addams' house was built for $100,000.
Oh, amazing. In The Addams Family, 1964, Uncle Fester was Morticia's mother's uncle, and his surname is unknown. It is occasionally implied that he only has one name. In this movie and most subsequent interpretations of the same character, he is Gomez's brother, Fester Addams. I missed that little apostrophe. So really, he was Morticia's great uncle.
Yeah, in the TV show.
in
But
the
I think
TV show.
even the cartoon movies that just released not too long ago, he's Gomez's brother.
Mm,
I've never seen those.
neither have I.
No. In the son of a I can't see it.
Oh.
In the Addams Family 1964. I could have guessed 4. Grandma was Gomez's mother, and her name was Adora Adams. In the movies, she is Morticia's mother, and her name was changed to Esmeralda Frump. Morticia's mother in the series was Hester Frump. This provided a joke for the Addams Family musical. Morticia, angry at Gomez, brings up the time his mother came to visit for a week, and she's still here living in the attic. Gomez responds, "My mother, I thought it was your mother." So I guess they had a live or a
That's
musical.
fantastic. Do you remember the Canadian TV show, The Addams Family?
I remember it was horrible.
Oh, yeah, no, it was terrible, but this
Yeah.
just popped into my head. I was like, right, they made
Yeah,
a
they did a
live action
version of
TV
it.
show.
Oop.
Originally, the Mamushka scene was supposed to be longer with a full song describing brotherly love and both Gomez and Fester naming other famous brothers. Test screenings, however, revealed the audiences felt the song brought the movie to a standstill. The film shows an edited version with only Gomez and Fester dancing, with Gomez throwing knives at Fester. The full song can be found on the motion picture soundtrack, and the extended scene can be viewed on the 2021 Blu-ray from the Addams Family with more Mamushka. There you go.
More Mamushka.
More Mamushka.
I don't know if I want to see that Mamushka.
I thought it was enough Mamushka.
It was, yeah. It was.
'Cause
This movie was paced fairly well.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
also established, like, the Mamushka that was the moment where you're like, "Oh, that's the real Fester."
Yeah, because he
how you
got
gonna
all the
know how to
dancing and
Mamushka?
yeah, especially when he caught the knife with in his throat.
Yeah. When
Like
you're
that dude.
swallowing swords, you don't do that impetuously. That's a
Yeah,
planned thing.
That's
That's a
not a
practice
coincidence,
thing.
man.
Yeah.
To make Angelica Houston's eyes look slanted like the original Morticia, the makeup artist had to attach strings with spirit gum to the outside corners of her eyes and anchor the strings on her head.
You
Jesus
laugh,
Christ.
but there's actually
It looks good though.
No, it looks amazing. Her makeup in this movie, I was like, "Girl, drop the routine. I wanna know it." But there are things that you can buy now that basically has, like, tape and string, and you can pull your skin back, like, in the various parts, and you can, like,
Oh,
anchor it in your like, it's still a thing
it's
now,
like a
and then you can
facelift, temporary
Yeah,
facelift.
and then you put makeup over the tape because it's, like,
Oh,
medical grade, and people can't see it, or a lot of people do it, like, underneath their chin to pull back their double chins.
mm.
I just rock mine proudly.
In order to gain more, oh, that's you. Sorry.
That's me. Oh, it's fine. In order to gain Morticia's figure, Angelica Houston wore a metal corset. She also had to get gauze eye lifts, neck tucks, and fake nails daily. She told Entertainment Weekly, "Come afternoon, I could be prone to a really good headache from my various bondages. And because I couldn't lie down in the corset and rest, it was fairly exhausting."
Damn.
God bless. Thank you for being so dedicated. Because
Yeah.
that's like a style icon moment.
Yeah. That's why she gets paid the big bucks.
Mhm.
Wednesday Addams is one of Christina Ricci's favorite roles.
Of course. She's one of my favorite characters in filmdom.
Yeah, she's yeah, all the Wednesdays are pretty the whole Wednesday
Yeah.
character is pretty iconic.
Several scenes reference original Charles Addams illustrations, most notably the introductory sequence where the Addams family pours a cauldron of hot oil on Christmas carolers. The passenger on Gomez's toy train, the octopus painted on the footboard of Wednesday's bed, and Pugsley with the road sign.
The road signs were pretty funny
Yeah.
because he came in after chopping the stop sign down.
Yeah.
Then you hear the tires squealing and a crash. So you can only assume someone died.
But a moment
They're
before that,
laughing.
Gomez is like, shh.
Yeah.
Like he gets everybody and they all listen intently. And then they hear the crash and they start laughing and they're like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And I'm like, I don't know how amazing that is, sir, but okay.
Wednesday's middle name is Friday. Her full name is Wednesday Friday Addams. There you go.
That's weird. The idea for the film came during a car ride. Scott Rudin, head of production at 20th Century Fox, was riding in a van with other company executives one day after a movie screening. Everyone was there. Studio chiefs Barry Dillard, Leonard Goldberg, and marketing chief Tom Sherrick. When Tom's kids started singing the Addams Family 1964 theme, Rudin told the Los Angeles Times. And suddenly, everyone in the van was singing the theme, letter perfect, note for note. The next day, Rudin proposed to Diller and Goldberg that they make an Addams Family movie, and they went for it.
There you go. And that's how the Addams Family came around. Well, the movie.
It's singing a theme song?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, Lucky could have been singing. I don't know. Who knows? When Fester arrives at the Addams house, his trunk bears travel stickers from locations known for horrible events and disasters. Elba, Jonestown, the Bermuda Triangle, Death Valley, the Black Hole of Calcutta, 3 Mile Island, Alcatraz, Pompeii, Devil's Island, and others.
See, that's a good set decorator.
Yeah, that's someone that's
a good props
covering
person.
all the. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Bruno Kirby offered his fat suit from The Godfather Part 2, 1974, to Christopher Lloyd in order to play Uncle Fester. Interesting.
Yeah. So there's a little Godfather 2 in the Addams Family. Director Barry Sonnenfeld had not originally planned to use the theme music from the Addams Family 1964 in the movie. He included it in the opening sequence after positive reactions to the early trailer, which include the theme.
Oh.
Yeah, that's smart move.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very, very smart.
My 6-year-old, and actually, whenever they see Wednesday or whatever and stuff, they sing the Addams Family.
Well, it's
not
iconic
word
at
for
this point.
word.
It's iconic and it's easily recognizable.
Yeah.
Just makes sense. Angelica Houston drew inspiration for her portrayal of Morticia Addams, not from Carolyn Jones from the series, but by watching Grey Gardens, 1975. David Maysles and Albert Maysles' documentary about two eccentric old women found living in a decaying mansion. The women, Edith Bouvier Beale, Big Edie, and Edith Little Edie, Bouvier Beale, are respectively the aunt and cousin of the late Jacqueline Kennedy. Have you seen Grey Gardens?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't want to. I don't even like this piece of trivia. It was boring.
It is, because I watched the documentary first, and then Drew Barrymore was in a movie that kind of was almost like a remaking, like a dramatization of the documentary that also included like the filmmakers talking to Little Edie and Big Edie.
Oh, yeah.
It is one of the most fascinating things I have ever seen in my life. And you walk away from it going, I hope they were okay. I think they're both past now. Because they filmed it in the 70s and they were both, like, Big Edie was super elderly and Little Edie was, I think, in her 50s or 60s. But it was so interesting. I don't know if you'd actually like it, but honestly, I loved it. And I was like, I think everybody should watch it because this is what happens when you're too rich for your own good.
At an auction, Morticia and Gomez outbid each other for an item they themselves donated, just like in Morticia's favorite charity episode, 1965.
Oh. Director of photography Owen Roisman quit the production after about a month to go work on another film. His replacement, Gail Tattersall, had his contribution cut short not long afterwards when he had to quit after being rushed to hospital with a severe sinus infection. Fed up with the situation, Barry Sonnenfeld took over the cinematography himself, reasoning that if anything happened to him, then production would be shut down, so he didn't have much to lose. Sonnenfeld was an accomplished cinematographer before becoming a successful director, so he knew what he was doing. That's some, like, bad luck.
Yeah. Good thing he was a cinematographer.
Right?
Yeah.
Divine intervention.
David Levy, who executive produced The Addams Family in 1964, filed a lawsuit against Paramount Pictures after the film was released. He claimed that many Addams Family character trademarks used in the film, including Gomez's fascination with blowing up model trains, the characters of Thing and Cousin It, Lurch's fondness for playing the harpsichord, and the passionate tangos danced by Morticia and Gomez were original ideas created by him exclusively for the series and not part of the original Charles Addams cartoons, for which Paramount Pictures had purchased the movie rights. The lawsuit was later settled out of court, which kind of means David Levy got some money.
Oh, 100%, which means they definitely were gonna lose if they went to court.
Yeah, which someone should have covered all the bases and contacted whoever. It probably would have cost them a lot less just to say, "Hey, we're doing Addams Family. Come be a co-producer, and we'll pay some money, or we'll just give you some money."
Yeah, be a
Yeah,
consulting producer. That would have been smart of them, but they were like, "Well, we have the rights, the same rights that produced the TV show, so we can do whatever was in the TV show." I guess nobody read the cartoons.
yeah.
Toward the end of the movie, Morticia is seen telling the Grimm's fairy tale Hansel and Gretel to a group of children. In the series pilot, The Addams Family Goes to School, 1964, the Addamses take issue with the Grimm's fairy tales being read in school because of how violent they were towards dragons and witches.
Kinda makes me wanna watch the old show again.
I know.
Due to right issues, the film was not released on DVD in countries outside North America, except for Ireland and Great Britain, until 2013.
Interesting.
I don't think I put it in there. The people that did have the rights to this movie and distribution was Orion,
Oh.
who did Masters of the Universe and Superman 4, which we discussed in Masters of the Universe, were complete flops and lost a lot of money, and they eventually had to close down.
Yeah.
Selling an MGM, I believe, or Paramount bought Orion, but they held on to distribution rights outside of North America,
Mhm.
which meant that they could not release the DVD.
That sucks balls. Some scenes in the videos and photos from Gomez and Fester's childhood, such as their wedding, they're wearing shark fins in a lake and returning from camp in animal carriers, are also taken from Charles Addams cartoons where Wednesday and Pugsley did these things. It's so cute.
The house set was built on stage 38,
Hmm.
the same stage as the house set from the series. When the series was being shot there, it was known as General Service Studios, and when the movie was being shot there, it was called Hollywood Center Studios. But yeah, they shot on the same stage. That was kind of cool.
That's very cool. The main theme, written and performed by MC Hammer, won a Razzie Award in the category of Worst Original Song. Can I tell you, when the credits were running and I heard the song, I was like, is that MC Hammer?
Yeah.
And yes, yes, it was. That's probably the most 1991 thing about this movie.
Yeah, the 90s were really, known for that.
Amen.
Sometimes it worked. Actually, it worked for this because I remember hearing and seeing, because 91, I was actually watching MTV as a kid, and there were music videos, and this stupid song was on a lot.
Well, and I mean, there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that had the
Jesus
Vanilla
Christ,
Ice song.
Yeah.
I still fucking love that movie.
Oh, the
I just
first
did a
one?
rewatch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still fun. I haven't seen it in a
So
while, but it
ugh.
looks it was fun. I went to theaters and watched it as a kid.
I
We had to
feel
sit
like
in the aisle.
God bless. I feel like it's on Disney. Is it on Disney? It used to be on Disney.
Well, that means they would have the cartoon too.
Oh,
I used to
guess
watch the
it's not on
cartoon a
Disney
lot
anymore.
too.
I love the cartoon.
Yeah, I used to
Loved
watch the cartoon
it.
a lot.
I watched it so much. So good.
Kim Basinger was set to play Morticia, but dropped out to make The Marrying Man, 1991. Okay.
Isn't that what she met Alec Baldwin on?
Alec Baldwin? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's not a good thing. They didn't have a great. Oh, I guess the beginning of their marriage was all right.
Yeah, it was good for a
Then it went
while.
to shit.
Then it kind of went to shit. But I mean, whatever. Alec
Yeah.
Baldwin is married to Ilaria now.
Hilaria.
Ilaria from Boston. During the cemetery walk of Morticia and Fester, Morticia shows him the tomb of Fester's deceased pet vulture, Muerto. Muerto is the Spanish word for dead. That is correct.
Dead vulture. Early in the same year, The Addams Family 1991 was released. Sean Astin and Keith Coogan appeared together in Toy Soldiers 1991, which we also watched. Oops. Astin is the son of the original Gomez, John Astin, adopted. I did not know that.
Yes, because, well, no, initially they didn't think he was adopted. And then they found out, well, actually, no, I think they always knew he was adopted, but they didn't know who his actual dad was.
Yeah.
It could have been
But
one
apparently he
of
was
two.
so young and he adopted him. So like there was
Yeah.
no. And while Coogan is a grandson of the original Fester, Jackie Coogan.
Who is also the originator of, I think it's Coogan's Law in California, which it means now every child actor, because his parents, he was a huge child actor, I think, in the silent era and early film. And his parents ripped him off, stole all of his money. He
Oh,
went to court, only got back a fraction of it. And then he basically was the example and also petitioned for a law in California where I think it's at least either 15 or 18% of every child actor's income has to go into a Coogan account.
Hmm.
So that money is untouched by anybody. So they have access to that when they turn 18.
oh, nice.
I think it's 18 or 21. So even if their parents rip them off, they still have something, and they're not
Something.
coming out of this with nothing.
Yeah, because there are a lot of parents that rip their acting kids off.
So fucking many. And if I hear
Gary
one more
Coleman
story,
was a huge one.
yeah, honestly, I think it was, well, Drew Barrymore basically
Drew
supported her
Barrymore.
entire family.
That
They
little
didn't straight
weird
up
chick
steal.
from Poltergeist.
Yes.
Corey
So many
Feldman.
kids get ripped off by
Yeah.
their parents.
That's too
or their
bad. That's
guardians.
shitty. I mean,
It's
I think if you're making that much money, yeah, if you're a parent, look, I'm here with you. Let's take this money and for the house and traveling and all that. But let's take a big chunk, like half or 70 something, and put
Yeah.
that in the bank for you.
100%.
Since you're doing most of the work.
Hilariously, and I remember hearing this story from Mark Paul Gosselaar, because when he started acting as a kid, right? In Miss Bliss's class. That's the precursor to Saved by the Bell.
Miss Brown's.
No, Miss Bliss.
No, Miss Bliss. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was Haley
Mills.
Ah, that was a
Look at
great
us
show
remembering.
with Haley Mills, the Miss Bliss.
Yes,
I remember
loved
watching
that
on
show.
the Disney Channel. Yeah.
So anyways, he was on that. Then he went into Saved by the Bell, and when he was a teenager, he basically told his parents he wanted access to all of his money. Like, he's like, why don't I have? Because they were giving him a very small allowance every week, and they were like, no, we're not going to do that. We're putting all your money away. And his parents actually did, which was really great. And he was like, I was so thankful, because he's like, I would have blown it within like a month. It would have been gone.
Awesome.
But my parents were like, no,
Boats and
we're giving
hoes.
you enough money to go out for pizza with your friends, to pay for gas in your car.
Yeah.
And that's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need.
And they were like, no, you're not rich right now.
Yeah, you're a
And
moron.
I appreciate those kind of parents.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. Take some of the kids' money. You're sitting there while they're acting, twiddling your fucking thumbs. But
Yeah.
give the kid most of the money.
Oh, 100%. The majority of it should be theirs. Anyways, Christopher Lloyd was the next immediate choice for Fester after Sir Anthony Hopkins declined to do the film.
Thank God.
But Barry Sonnenfeld wasn't sure if Lloyd could commit after shooting 2 Back to the Future sequels back to back the previous 2 years. He also considered Danny DeVito, Jack Nicholson, and Rodney Dangerfield in the event Lloyd passed. Lloyd admitted he was exhausted after finishing the previous films, but wanted to do the movie as he was sure it would be a hit.
Okay, Danny DeVito, it might have worked, kind of, but he's really
yeah, no.
Yeah. No one else that I can. Jack, are you
Jack
kidding
Nicholson?
me? Jack Nicholson? The fuck? It's not gonna
Sir
be Uncle
Anthony
Fester.
Hopkins?
No.
What? Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Never.
No, it would have been all wrong. The Jack
Yeah.
Nicholson would have just turned it. It would have been a scary movie with fucking him as it.
Fuck,
That's
right?
Fester. It'd be creepy.
Crazy eyes.
And that is it for the trivia. All right. Anything you would like to add to the Addams Family?
No, I think that's it. Other than, hashtag relationship goals, Gomez and Morticia. Also, I really want a creepy house with a cemetery attached. I don't think I'm asking for too much.
Yeah, the movie looked great. For
It's
those
so good.
listening, yeah, it's a kids movie. It's a family's movie. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
But if you're watching it, it looks great.
It looks so good.
All right, so we had to rent it, we had to buy it. I'm saying buy it if you have kids. If you don't have kids, I mean, you'll watch it and go, oh yeah, I remember liking this. I'd probably watch it again in another 20 years. Yeah.
Valid.
That's all right. Well, thank you for coming back to the 90s and watching the Addams, or going over to the Addams Family with us. And until the next movie, remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.